Welcome back. I'm now presenting a series of videos that are based on my book, Borderline Personality Disorder, Survival Guide from Chaos to Authenticity. The initial sets of videos looked at evaluation and then clinical criteria from the DSM-5 describing borderline personality disorder. And then I did a set of videos on criteria that I think very much reflect people with BPD, but were not included in the DSM-5, but I think it provides a more holistic understanding. A lot of what I've presented so far sounds somewhat negativistic, and indeed, a disorder is a very serious issue. Going forward, I'd like to present what I hope is a more positive understanding of how an individual can live with borderline personality disorder, enjoying happiness, contentment, and stability in their lives, and achieving this in a strategic and thoughtful way. So what I'm presenting on now is dignified survival and maybe even happiness in this video. Like an electrical circuit, the events that occur in the nervous system are morally neutral and only adopt meaning when the resulting behavior, emotion, or thought occurs in the context of particular cultural mores. We are cultural and political creatures, and our brains, which can change and even adapt, responding to various stimuli, considers immediate and past experiences to predict and estimate the immediate future to ensure safety and stability. The brain is sensitive to the narrative that the environment is telling it. The brain essentially regulates and coordinates systems in the body in response to various sensory information sent from different parts of the body and the immediate environment. From this, the brain provides a narrative of sensory experience based on the body's functioning. This story, our emotions, strives for homeostasis, but also considers if there's something wrong internally or within the environment where we are. However, our brains are not built to produce happiness, as happiness is an artificial construct. There are certain external cues that may cause a person to experience amusement or contentment, but happiness must be created and recreated each and every day. There are complex systems to protect us, but no physiological system produces happiness as such. The brain likes reason, but it is not reason that is always useful or protective in our everyday lives. Survival and happiness require considerable effort, and the borderline certainly has his work cut out for him. As a result, happiness must be pursued as a value in and of itself, and it is achieved through endless curiosity and humility, cultivating positive life-affirming choices. When someone is angry at himself or disappointed in his own behavior, he is really angry at his brain, which encompasses the person's personality and identity, but it also encompasses far more. The brain makes billions of automatic and unconscious biological decisions, only a fraction of which we are aware of and which we have any control over. Even professionals with high degrees of technical skill and know-how, such as engineers, physicians, and social workers, are unaware of the vast majority of the brain's decisions and functioning. As such, hacking the brain is far more effective than chronic self-hatred because self-hatred does nothing to tackle the underlying neurological functioning that dictates how we behave, feel, and think. You are not your brain, and your brain's tyranny can be tamed and even domesticated into a harmonious duality with your identity, ultimately making self-anger and disappointment superfluous and self-control a reality. As a borderline, if you really care about social pressures, external validation, and what others think about you, you won't stand a chance to either be happy or stable. Certainly, a person may live a safe and stable life and still never experience happiness or even perhaps contentment. Yet for some borderlines, achieving stability and safety is a major win, and it may yield a good quality of life, even if happiness itself remains elusive. Additionally, the borderline can have both a bad brain and agency. That is, the borderline may indeed suffer from a disorder that affects behavior, emotion, and thinking, but that does not preclude the borderline from enjoying stability and even happiness by taking ownership and control of his decisions and the trajectory of his life by identifying positive supports and perceived dangers. One of the best ways to do this is by identifying triggers, and that will be our next video.